Well, Spade Adventures, today is one of the worst days for most people. That being because it is the very, very, very last day of summer. Yes, that is right. It is my last day of summer vacation. And not just me, but many people have been going back to school, which is quite unfortunate. But before you think that we're going to be talking about all of this school mumbo jumbo and how to survive it, which is one of the things I was thinking about doing, but I decided not to for one reason. This video. It's not just me who went back to school, it was also my brother, because my brother is in college. So we had to take him back to his college and, check everything out, make sure everything's okay. But he hasn't technically started because he is an RA, so that's cool. And one of the things of an RA is that you have to go to the school like about 2 weeks-ish sooner for training and get yourself acquainted with the dorm. And he also has a roommate and, a bathroom with a sensor light, which is kind of cool, I guess, but it's fairly decent. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. We did end up going a few days ago, like 2 maybe, to go see how he was doing, give him his coffee table that he said he didn't want to have. And if you watch that name that blank card, I always mess up the name, you will be able to see the exact coffee table that we had to bring him. So now, unfortunately, Harold has no place to sit. But we went down this one street where it was all blocked off. There was people, there were cars, it was a red light, so, at first glance, it was just like, okay, this is just something normal with a lot of cars. Well, I spotted, 2-3 people in the road. My mom was like, okay, this is odd, because I had told her there are people standing in the road. She was like, what? And she ended up seeing, because it wasn't, in her vision, and the sun was coming down on us, and I'm holding back a sneeze, which, thanks, sneeze. But anyway, the sun was coming down, so it was really, really hard to see, even though we were at a red light, and there was a car behind us. So we couldn't really turn around, because I had also noticed that the red light went yellow and then back to red, so I was like, okay, that's not normal. But we ended up wanting to turn around because we wanted to go to Bob Evans before going home, which I probably won't talk about that experience in this video because it might be too long. But anyway, there were some sirens that we heard, so it was like, okay, well, there's probably an accident, thought nothing of it. Well, one car comes, then a second cop car, then a third, then there was the freaking fire, a fire car, not even a truck, a car, and it was kind of this patrol guy, and it was kind of like a super agent crossing guard who gets rid of fires or something. There was, a fire truck that came, there were 2 more cop cars, so I was just like, okay, there's 5 cop cars. This can't be nothing if there's 5 cop cars. There has to be some kind of a reason. And all of a sudden, after all of this chaos and a police car parking behind us, so still couldn't go anywhere, but this guy runs out of the crowd to a cop car and ends up going with this exact tone, I think that's my truck on the bridge. Okay, completely normal voice, completely calm, Nothing, like, it's almost like, oh wait, no, I said it wrong. God dang it. He said, he said, he thought that his truck was hit on the bridge or something like that. After that, then he said, "Oh shoot, I think my cell phone's in there," and started running the opposite way of where the accident was, and then in 2 seconds turned around and then started running towards the accident. So that was pretty odd, just in general. So we were like, okay. And my mom had wanted to ask a cop if she could turn around because there was somebody else who was turning around. And she was just like, okay, it'll be fine to turn around. So we did. We turned around. There was somebody else going to that area. So we ended up telling her, well, my mom told her that there was an accident there, can't go that way, and she now knew that there was a problem. Well, we ended up having to go past where the accident had happened, and lo and behold, the one time there's not a red light because you're wondering, okay, what the heck is this? I kid you not, like, I can't even make this up. We look to the right, and all of a sudden, there's like this brand new, bright, shiny red truck on its side. It doesn't even look damaged at all. It looks like if you cut off the side mirror, took the truck, and just tipped it onto its side. Just placed it, no damage whatsoever. So we had been trying to figure out for the longest time what in the world had happened, because there were 5 cop cars, so I was just like, okay, well, there has to be some reason that there's 5 cop cars. If there's 5 of them, that's a lot of cop cars for like one little accident. Not just that, but he also said he thought that it was his truck. Not that he knew, but he thought. So that leads you to think, okay, well, then he doesn't know if that's his truck or not. So was it stolen and tipped over? Was he just randomly parked on the bridge because apparently there were parking spots there and somebody just tipped it over and he came back to see his truck just there? Or did just this whole big crowd of people just kept calling the cops, and it just so happened that it just ended up being 5 different cop cars that ended up going, and it was just a misunderstanding? I will never know, unfortunately. But it was a very, very weird situation, and yeah. So hopefully none of you guys have had your cars or trucks or bicycles, maybe, I don't know. Hopefully none of you have had that flipped on the road, because that sounds like it would suck. If you've had any awkward traffic stories, let me know in the comment section below. You guys can send me a link to a video if you really want to make a video to respond to this. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Check out the rest of Spade Gal's original with the other original content, such as Girl of Cyclone Quincore being the script stories, and more to come from the script stories. Not just the script stories, but we have more Spade Comet vlog, which I'm also happy to say we are going to be doing games like that blank card. Name that blank card. Why can't I say it? I don't know. But we will also be having games like that, so watch out for those, and you guys can check that out. I also had a special guest on, and I will not tell you who that is, but when that video launches, you guys will be in for a fun video. And let me know on that video what you think. Let me know what you thought of this video as well. Like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you want to see something that is less of my face or something and more of my voice, you guys can go to the gaming channel, which I'm doing quite a lot of Let's Plays, and I will be soon doing a Way Forward marathon where I am doing a bunch of Shantae and first ever playing Mighty Switch Force. So go check that out, and I hope you guys enjoy all of that, and I also hope to see you later. Bye!